Okay, recording in this evening. So I'm sitting close to you today because I wanted to. We're going to use a bolster and a block for one of our first poses today. I set it up like that. You may not want to, but that's kind of a good way to set it up. And then I'm sitting on a blanket today so we could do a little meditation. I have a Kundalini meditation today. I'm going to teach you. So no chanting in this one, which is really unusual because usually Kundalini meditations are chanting, but it's not. Just some breath work and a mudra. So hopefully that will be nice for you today. So let's just start centering, sitting comfortably, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing the face. Maybe if you've had a long, crazy day or just very busy in the mind today, we can take a couple of long exhales, even through the mouth, to relax. Maybe feel a little settling of energy down into the sit bones, down into the hips, just feeling nice and grounded. I always like to bring my hands to the heart at the beginning and end of each practice. The beginning to just remind me why I'm here, connect to you, to connect to my breath, my intention. So we'll start today with our Om chant just once, and then we'll do our intention, and you can recite it with me or after me. Take a deep breath in together. Repeating after me, may I be free from fear and harm. May I be content as I am. May I be at peace with whatever comes. Maybe setting your own intention as well as you begin your practice. Let's just notice the breath. Nice and easy, comfortable. So this Kundalini meditation today is called Meditation for a Calm Heart. So it's real simple and it's got some beautiful breath work in it as well. So let's keep the left hand in the center of the chest. And we'll take the right hand out to the side. So the elbow's tucking kind of in towards us. The palm is facing towards me. And we'll bring our fingers in the wisdom mudra. So thumb and first finger together. Just press it together. So the other three fingers are up towards the ceiling. So palm towards me. So make it comfortable. Relax your shoulder and just take a nice comfortable movement there. So that's the mudra for calm heart. And now we'll just add the breath work. So it's just a nice soft inhalation. We're going to bring the breath all the way up into the chest. So feel the energy moving up underneath the hand. At the end of the inhalation, you're going to hold the breath in that chest underneath the hand for as long as it feels comfortable. No choking or anything like that, just as long as it feels comfortable. And then you're going to exhale the breath. Feel the breath move all the way down the spine. And then when all of the breath is out of the body, you're going to hold that empty space for as long as it feels comfortable. Okay, so just begin whenever you're ready. I would suggest closing your eyes and maybe gazing at the third eye, or bringing your gaze down towards the mat if that's comfortable. So whenever you're ready, just begin. As we release it, we'll take our hands to our lap. Take a nice deep breath in. Turn our head to the left and do 3 quick exhales. And then turn your head back to the center. We'll just sit for a moment. So that Kundalini meditation can be done. They suggest 3 minutes and then working your way up to 30 minutes. You can do it as many times a day as you wish. And so as we transition into our first pose, just be really mindful, maybe move a little slower than you're used to. I'm going to come to my mat. And with my block underneath the bolster, I'm going to bring my low back up to the bolster. And if it's cold in your space, or if you want to use a little blanket over your body, we're going to bring our feet in Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together. Okay, so we're going to let the hips open as we lie back. You can put blocks underneath your knees if you need to support yourself, or maybe you just want to put a blanket over you today. But let's do a little bit of that Baddha Konasana movement. And as you lay back, you feel your back supported. Close your eyes and just let your arms open to your sides. We'll keep the palms up and we'll bring them in that mudra that we just did with the thumb and first finger touching on both hands as we lay our hands down on our mat. So if you're new to this practice, just a reminder that each pose is a longer hold than you're used to. So if you feel some discomfort, it's perfectly fine. Just work your way through it, breathe through it, bring your attention somewhere else. See if you can breathe through and let the body begin to release what it needs to. If you feel like it's too much for you, then you can straighten the legs and just relax. And let your breath come natural. And maybe you can find yourself just finding a little bit of stillness in your posture today. Once you find that stillness, just honor it. Stay there and breathe with us. And find yourself taking a nice deep breath in. Maybe bringing the legs together. Gently roll over to our side. And bring yourself up to a seat. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us. I have a blanket underneath my knees for a little bit of support if your hamstrings are tight. But you don't have to. Just we're going to just allow the body to come forward. You can also put a blanket or a bolster or anything on your legs to rest your head if you wish. So relax your feet. Let's slowly tuck the chin in towards the chest. And on the exhalation, let's let our body fold forward with gravity. You can place your hands and arms wherever they feel comfortable. If you'd like to rest your forehead on your block or something, or you can make a little block with your hands. Take a few moments as you get familiar with this posture to breathe into it. Make any changes that you need to in the first minute. And then after that, let the body become still. Feel the effects of gravity as you fold forward. And let's let go just a little bit more. You're holding on to tension in your jaw. Can you let the jaw relax, the eyes relax? Being mindful as you come out of the pose, maybe bending the knees, slowly pushing yourself up. We'll work our way onto hands and knees. Just do a few moments of cat-cow before we come into our next pose. The inhale expands, bringing the chest forward. The exhale draws the belly in, rounding through the low back. Let's move very slowly, maybe even taking a couple of breaths to get to the fullness of our inhalation pose. Same thing on the exhale. And coming back to neutral, we're going to move ourselves into our pigeon pose today. So we'll start with the right side. Let's bring that right knee up to the edge of our mat. Now you know how deep you can go. If this foot needs to be closer to the inner groin or if you can do 90 degrees, it's up to you. Let's sink on down. Trying to bring that right butt cheek to the mat. If it doesn't quite hit the mat, you've got a little blanket over there you can use to prop yourself up. As we extend this left leg back and feel the stretch in the inner groin, let's come forward. Now, obviously, do as much mindful movement as you can to get yourself into a really comfortable pose. Use whatever props you need to. So some of you may want to place your block so your forehead rests on it, or if your forehead rests on the floor, you can go ahead and do that too. But let's rest our forehead on something. So we bring our awareness into this third eye today in this pose as we let gravity soften our hips and our belly. Let's bring our awareness to that third eye and really connect with our breath. Let's slowly rise up. We'll mindfully make our way back to hands and knees so we can do a little bit of cat-cow before we go to the other side. All right, are you ready for the left side? Let's bring that left knee up. See how deep we want to place this leg. And again, if you're tight, maybe you want to take that blanket and just stick it underneath your left butt there. Beautiful. So add any props that you need. Take your time coming down into the pose that works best for you, for your knee, for your breath. Let's continue to bring our awareness into this third eye. So connect it to your block or to the mat, wherever you're able to today. And as you take your time finding the stillness of this pose, notice too here, can we relax the jaw, about the neck, the shoulders. So slowly releasing that pose. Again, let's just take about 30 seconds in our cat-cow. Give yourself some kudos for that because that was a pretty long pigeon pose today. And so for that long pigeon pose, I'll give you some really easy pose to do now. So I'm going to take my bolster. I'm going to do a child's pose twist. So I'm going to start by bringing my right hip right up to that bolster. And my knees are tucked in pretty good. This is a little hard to do with my mic on, so I'll show you how to do it and then I'll talk a bit about it for a minute. So I'm going to bring my chest down to the mat. You can see the arms are just kind of resting. So I'm going to turn my head in the opposite direction of my knees and let my ear rest onto the mat, onto the bolster. So if you have glasses on or I have a microphone, it's a little hard to do it, so you can take the glasses off. That's comfortable. So knees to one side, chest onto the mat, onto the bolster, arms and shoulders relaxed. And let's turn away from our knees. And if that's obviously not comfortable for your neck, then just turn your head in the direction of your knees. Should be able to breathe easy in this pose and to really relax. And your mind is a little less scattered. Maybe you can even lengthen the breath just a little bit. Nice and easy. You can come back on all fours. And we'll just switch our knees to our other side. The opposite hip is now against my bolster. As I bring my chest down, I'm going to turn my head once again away from the knees. So let's make our way out of that pose. And we'll just come into full child's pose. So I'm going to separate the knees nice and wide, bringing the big toes together. You can use the bolster underneath your belly if you wish. And you may want to just drop your head to the mat, or you can use your hands as a resting spot. Or maybe the hands want to be someplace else. You have many options with the arms, bringing them forward, or maybe out to the sides, or maybe onto the feet. We've done this pose numerous times in class, right? And so for this pose today, I want you to just feel yourself sinking down. So like you had a small little weight on your low back. You're just feeling your sit bones sink down towards your heels. Let's let our belly relax again, checking in with the jaw and the face. Are we as relaxed in this lower body as we can be? Are we letting gravity just pull us down deeper into this soft pose? Beautiful. So take your time coming out of that pose. I'm going to bring the bolster underneath my knees for Shavasana today. This is a good way to relax your lower back. Also, we've been talking about cocooning a little bit for the winter. So if you'd like a bolster underneath your knees, we'll take the blanket, wrap it around our feet. Really give us that feeling of security as we come into our final pose, which is just Shavasana, our final relaxation. Now, maybe for you, it feels comfortable just to let your arms rest at your sides. We can do the same mudra that we've been talking about today, the thumb and first finger together. Or if you want, maybe it feels good to rest a hand or two on the belly to just keep us grounded this evening. So, wherever you are in your practice, whatever you need for these final minutes of class, as you rest in Shavasana today, let's notice our breath. It's not quite the Kundalini breath we did at the beginning of class, but we're aware of the breath. A nice full inhale, expanding the chest, bringing that awareness into our heart center. And each exhale, just releasing all that we no longer need. Anything that's in the body that we can let go of that is causing us tension, stress, anxiety. Just remind the body, I no longer need to hold this in my body today. I no longer need to hold this in my body today. Just see if you can let that go. Let's take this moment to deepen the breath, stretch maybe fingers and feet. If you'd like to join us in these final moments, otherwise you can just rest where you are. No need to come up if you'd like to stay there. Otherwise, if you're ready, just gently roll to your side. Let your head rest on your arm or on a pillow so it's comfortable. The poem today is called Deconstruction, from an old yoga teacher friend of mine. I am deconstructing my identity built assumption by assumption is crumbling at my feet. It's clear to me the way of truth leads into the unknown, but a small sacred voice inside me cries, not yet, I am not ready. Balanced on the rubble, I grope for handholds even as I try to let go. I am barred to the bone by pain and the thwarted desire to maintain control. I long to paint the scene the way I want while ignoring how it really is. My practice now isn't about rebuilding what I knew. It's not about clearing the littered ground of old illusions only to construct new ones. For emptiness has a stark beauty, noticed only when I stop looking for security. I sit on the tumble of mortar and brick and pray for patience, pray for strength, pray for humility, and all the while I just keep breathing. If you'd like, please come up to join me as we bring our hands to our heart. Bow into this sacred space that we have created for this evening. And let's chant one final Om together. Deep breath in. Namaste.